Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. Again, I'm here to share some things that I've been thinking about, and granted, I will tell you right now that the things that I have to share have been on my mind for a very short time, so the things I have been thinking about might not be completely factual, and I hope that you will take into consideration for all my videos that nothing I have to say should be taken as factual, because I am human, and I can study the Word of God, I can read it from front to back a million times over and study it, but I'm human, and again, I have biased opinions that I don't even realize, and so anyway, what I'm trying to say is don't take anything that I have to say as factual. But anyway, what I had to share today is heavy on my mind and has been for a very short period of time. And the things, I'm looking at my notes here, the things I want to talk about were beliefs. And I think that we automatically put beliefs as a very simple word, and we don't really think about what the meaning of what it is to truly believe something. You look back in the Bible and look at people of the Bible, and they believed God, so it is credited to them as righteousness. Look at Moses; he believed God. Blah 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 blah. I mean, he talked to God, so obviously he believed in him. But anyway, so the belief in God is basically what saves us, right? Because all we have to do to gain righteousness is to believe in Him, and that's what we need to focus on. But what really is true belief in God? And this is something that I've been asking myself because just observing different people, even myself in my own life, I think I believe in God, and I think that I have believed in God all my life, but then looking at the way that I have led my life and followed my life and just lived my life proved that maybe I didn't truly believe in God. And I listened to a David Wilkerson sermon on true spiritual, what truly is the Spirit, and he talked about people speaking in tongues and getting high in the Spirit, blah 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 blah, in his church way back in the day. And he said, but they would go on living their lives day by day in the same way that they did beforehand. Goofing off, doing their own thing. Not saying that what they did was wrong, but just saying there was no passion in that. And I think that what we don't realize is if we truly have a belief in God and we truly believe in Him, we will live differently. And I think Christianity nowadays has become more of a what can we get by with? What is the level ground to where, okay, if I'm right above the line of sin, maybe I can get to heaven right here, and I can just enjoy life at this level, rather than just living it all passionately. And I think that this is just something I've been thinking about because, back in my day when I believed in God, there's some words there, that I believed everything just had to be full force and full passion and just like, oh, there's starving kids in Africa, we need to feed them now. And maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's just about believing. And so I've been asking myself this question, well, what is believing? And so I had a couple things here. Basically, I wrote on my whiteboard. I write on my whiteboard over there when I have thoughts, and then I can just stare at it and think about it. I don't really do that. But anyway, the thing I wrote was feelings can be spurred from Christian upbringing or / thoughts. And my example was, I was raised in a Christian family, and I think a lot of us Christians who believe that we believe in God, we were raised in a Christian family, and so we believe God because we were taught about God all of our life, whether we went to church all our life or whether we had a home Bible study, we believed in God because that was just the way life was. And it wasn't until that we actually left the house and we left that comfort zone of our feelings and our beliefs that we started asking ourselves questions. Maybe God isn't really God. And even though we might not have studied a curriculum that suggested evolution was scientifically accurate, but we see that, oh, there was a greater power, there was a higher power out there, but maybe it wasn't God. And that's when we truly start realizing, oh, maybe my belief system wasn't what I really believed. Maybe it was just how I felt. And I think feelings and how we feel plays too large of a part in how we interpret our relationship with Christ is. Again, I'm not really saying this completely clear because I'm still kind of thinking about it, and I'm not even sure what I have to say is completely accurate. But basically what I'm trying to say is I think we feel like we believe in God rather than truly believe in Him. So let me give some examples here. Feelings are not beliefs, but they can appear to be. The big example, and this is something I've been thinking about just because I've been talking to people who are depressed, and not to mention, I have some issues with that as well. I think it's mostly nutrition based, but that's me. Everybody can look at me like I'm crazy because I think everything's based on nutrition because hey, I got a degree in it. Okay, give me a break. But anyway, drugs. I think drugs are a very good example of this. I've been looking at people who smoke marijuana. That's been a huge topic of research for me. And I see that some people who use this drug, they get into this feeling of, oh, everything's fine and I believe in God. Why do they all of a sudden have this huge belief in God? Because they're using this drug. Well, I believe it's because they're influencing their feelings. And it's those feelings that are supporting and feeding that what they call a belief in God. So basically, they're basing their belief or their quote-unquote belief on how they feel. What's up with that? We obviously know that's not accurate. We know that's not legitimate belief in God. Moses wasn't smoking pot on the mountain when he was praying to God, okay? It was because he was actually talking to God and he believed in God. But I think it's very possible that we, as Christians, do the exact same thing, whether or not we believe that drugs or alcohol or any other substance that we use on this earth is right or wrong, to basically get high or to suppress our pain in life. But I think we do it in other ways, like maybe getting high in the Spirit, because like getting high in the Spirit, those can give you those exact same feelings, that exact same euphoria. I've never smoked pot, so I don't exactly know. I can't really compare that to feeling high on the Spirit, but I can express and I can relate to feeling high on the Spirit, and I can imagine it's probably the same thing because that's what these other people do. So basically what I'm trying to say is getting high in the Spirit could be another drug too. So maybe if you're raised in a family that was always getting high in the Spirit or something like that, maybe you're basing your relationship with Christ on feelings. Again, maybe it's just feelings. Another thing that I think we base our relationship and our beliefs in God is on mild/comfortable Christian living. And I think this is the most common one. I probably should have talked about this one first. Is especially here in America, we are very comfortable, and especially in our Christian lifestyle and our relationship with Christ, we're chill, we're comfortable. Going to church every Sunday, not only is that comfortable, it's actually pleasurable in a way that, oh, you get to hang out with people and you get to have fun and, listen to a guy talk and who talks about things that you agree with. How much more pleasurable can that get? I mean, I think it's pleasurable. Probably just because I like hearing people talk about the Bible, but that's my biased opinion, that's my biased feeling. So going to church is I love it. It's just great to me. But is my belief system based on that? Is my belief system based on how comfortable I am in my relationship with Christ? And I think that being raised in a Christian family is very comfortable. And believing in God because you are raised in a Christian family or a comfortable family that did that same thing, believed in God. So why not believe in God is for the rest of your life? And but the reason that I ask this is there's a lot of people that go out of these Christian homes and they rebel. Why do they rebel? Because they're using their minds. And they start thinking, it's like, maybe I don't really believe in this because I'm not feeling the same thing that I did back in the day, when I was either getting high in the Spirit or being raised in a Christian family, blah, 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 blah. Maybe they're actually thinking, maybe I don't really believe in God. And that's when they rebel and they go to like drugs because that's, supposedly drugs give you that high that the comfortable Christian family did. That's just an opinion of mine. That's just a thought. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So how do we know whether or not our belief in God is truly legitimate? And I think this is the point in the video where I actually start moving on and stop talking. I think the only way we truly know whether or not we believe in God is when the trials in life come and how we react to those trials. And this is you see a lot of people start asking God questions. Why am I going through this? Are you really there? Are you really there? And that's a very common question that I think all of us ask, especially when we've been raised in Christian families that are very comfortable, is, are you really there? Because we've been living in a comfortable Christian lifestyle, and our belief system was based on our comfort and our feelings. So I think that if we continue to pursue God despite the trials in life, that's how we know we truly believe in Him, because we're still hanging on. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm young and I'm still learning, but this is just something that I think I'm maybe getting somewhere. I don't really know. So what is true belief? And I think these are 3 things that I thought about that could prove true belief, and I'm still thinking about them, so I might be wrong. But I believe time. I think time is one of the things that prove true belief. And even if you look in the Bible talks about not wanting young and new believers to be ministers. Why? Because, possibly they were thinking about the same thing I am. Like, well, if they're young in their beliefs, they're not going to know whether they truly believe in God, and so they might just be preaching on their feelings, which is very true. I mean, a new believer, you look at a new believer and they're just honky-dory happy because, oh, look, they're saved and everything's, great. And I think that's what they were talking about. They don't want a new believer who has these fresh, euphoric feelings in their relationship with God, or their quote-unquote relationship with God, to be going out to these people, because what they have to say might not be accurate. Let's see here. And I think another thing that proves true belief is, thinking on your own. Again, moving out of the house, moving out of that comfortable Christian lifestyle, and until you think about it on your own, rather than basing your beliefs on what your parents had taught you all your life, and in your comfortable couch in your home church, or whether your comfortable pews in the church, you're never going to know until you think about it on your own, until you're tested with those trials. That's my opinion. I don't know. I'm kind of there right now, actually. So, and again, I think another thing that proves true belief is how we react to pains and trials in life. And I kind of already went over that. So anyway, I think the main point I'm trying to get at is feelings are often interpreted as our belief in God. And I think until we can suppress those feelings, and I don't mean suppress them meaning eliminate them with worldly drugs like alcohol or weed or nicotine or caffeine or whatever you use to suppress those feelings, I think, and until those feelings and those pains of feelings relate and come into our life, and we actually still truly believe in God, I think that's when we know that we truly believe in God. And I think it's funny, you look at a lot of huge believers in Christianity, they left the faith when things got hard. And it was those people who stood in the faith within their trials, within their tribulations. You look at the martyrs, like read the Jesus Freak books by DC Talk, those are the people that truly believed, those people who are tortured and beyond belief, things that no one would be able to handle, and they stay content in God. And I think that's true belief. That's when you truly know that you believe in God. And I think it's the same for everyday life through trials and tribulations, and whether it's financial stresses or emotional stresses or anything of that nature. Are you still believing in God? So anyway, I think I'm done talking. I went through all my notes anyway, so I might make another video talking more about it. Let's see, how long have I been talking? I've already been talking for about 15 minutes. I think that's plenty long enough. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later.